Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, May 25th, coming to you live from Seoul. I'm Kim Mo-kyun. South Korea kicked off a week-long series of climate forums on Monday in the run-up to the P4G summit. During the Green Future Week, a total of 10 sessions will take place until Saturday. A range of climate-related themes will be explored, aligning with national and global agendas. Western powers have slammed Belarus after it diverted a passenger flight to arrest an opposition activist. EU leaders are discussing a unified European response to the incident that has shocked the world. And South Korea reported 516 new COVID-19 cases Tuesday, remaining in the 500s. But authorities remain on high alert as the infection rate through individual contact rose to a record high of 47%. South Korea kicked off a series of meetings this week on climate change and sustainability late Monday. They are a warm-up for the P4G climate summit that will be held for 2 days from Sunday in the South Korean capital. Kim Do-yeon starts us off.
3, 2, 1. Raise your messages, please. Including the Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Environment, all individuals joined here today are showing their promises to build a greener society.
South Korea kicked off a week-long series of climate forums on Monday in the run-up to Seoul's Virtual Partnering for Green Growth and the Global Goals 2030, or P4G summit. The opening remarks came from high-ranking officials of South Korea to famous environmental scientists such as Jane Goodall.
So it's very clear, isn't it, that we must develop a different relationship with the natural world and a different, more sustainable, greener economy. It won't be easy, but if we don't do it, what is the future like for your great-grandchildren and mine?
Distinguished participants, to meet the challenges ahead of us and reach the global goals, government-led efforts alone will not be enough. In countering climate change, it is crucial to ensure the participation of diverse stakeholders, including the private sector and civil society.
The opening event was live-streamed on its official website as well as its YouTube channel. Then began the first session, Carbon Neutrality. During the Green Future Week, a total of 10 sessions will take place through Saturday. They are themed with different climate agendas aligned with national and global priorities. Among the topics to be discussed are carbon neutrality, the oceans, biodiversity, green technology, and forests. All these sessions will be streamed on the 2021 P4G Seoul Summit virtual venue and the official YouTube channel for the general public to join. Kim Do-yeon, Arirang News.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus situation in South Korea. The nation reported 516 new cases on Tuesday, lingering in the 500s for the third straight day. But authorities remain on high alert as the rate of infections through individual contact hit a record high of 47%. Of the new cases, 481 were local and 35 were from overseas. 4 more people have died, bringing the death toll to 1,938. Now, on the vaccination front, a total of more than 1.8 million people have received 2 doses of the vaccine as of this morning. Seoul and Washington clinched new deals for vaccine cooperation. South Korean and American biotech companies sealed agreements on vaccine development and manufacturing. The government believes this will help the nation become a global hub for vaccine production. Kim Jae-hee reports.
South Korean biopharmaceutical company Samsung Biologics has signed a deal to help the production of COVID-19 vaccines developed by the U.S. drug maker Moderna. Under the fill and finish manufacturing process, Samsung Biologics will be responsible for filling vials and packaging Moderna's mRNA vaccine starting in the third quarter of this year. The vials will be supplied to markets other than the U.S. Moderna's vaccine is to become the 4th COVID-19 vaccine to be at least partially produced in Korea. The country already manufactures the AstraZeneca, Novavax, and Sputnik V vaccines. The government says the latest partnership between Seoul and Washington will help Korea become a global hub for vaccine manufacturing. Authorities are also working to have some of the locally produced vaccines reserved for Korea.
For the sake of distribution efficiency and ensuring a stable vaccine supply, we'll negotiate with suppliers so that vaccines produced in the country can also be supplied domestically. A trilateral MOU on vaccine development and production was also signed between SK Bioscience, the Health Ministry, and Novavax. One analyst says the cooperation between Korean and American biotech companies would serve as a foundation for the development of the country's bioindustry.
The bioprocessing capacity of domestic companies is being recognized. The Samsung-Moderna deal also raises Korea's international status as Asia's manufacturing hub for COVID-19 vaccines. Korea can also learn technical skills of packaging mRNA vaccines and its maintenance, and this can help the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry grow.
But another expert said a contract that involves a more important role would have been better.
Samsung Biologics' role is limited and there's no direct transfer of core technology. Its impact on vaccine development in Korea is expected to be minimal.
The expert added that the government should push forward to seal more technology transfer deals to solidify the country as a global vaccine hub. Kim Jae-hee, Arirang News.
The head of the World Health Organization is urging world leaders to send COVID-19 vaccines to at least 10% of each country's population by September. Speaking at the World Health Assembly on Monday, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus also asked them to conduct a, quote, drive to December to vaccinate at least 30% of their population by the end of the year. He also pressed richer countries to donate vaccines to the world's poorest through the COVAX initiative. At the week-long assembly, around 190 countries will discuss joint efforts to stop COVID-19. The top medical expert in the U.S. says he's not convinced COVID-19 developed naturally and is calling for an investigation into its origin. Speaking to Fox News on Monday, Dr. Anthony Fauci said he didn't think the virus could have crossed over from an animal before infecting humans. He called for a more thorough investigation into what happened in China in the early days of the pandemic. While a lab leak theory has been mentioned before, the World Health Organization last week declared it's extremely unlikely. The White House is also calling for an independent probe into the source of the virus. The U.S. is urging Americans not to visit Japan ahead of the Tokyo Olympics. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the State Department issued the Level 4 travel advisory, citing the very high level of COVID-19 infections there. This comes as the Japanese government considers extending a state of emergency in Tokyo and several other prefectures beyond May 31st expiry date. The Japanese Prime Minister said the decision would be made as early as this weekend. The opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games is scheduled to take place on July 23rd after being postponed by a year due to the pandemic. South Korea's consumer sentiment increased for the fifth month in a row in May to a high not seen since mid-2018. Data from the Bank of Korea showed on Tuesday that the composite consumer sentiment index was up 3 points on month to 105.2. A reading above 100 indicates more people are optimistic than pessimistic about the economy. The Bank of Korea said the high index reflects ambitious hopes of an economic recovery thanks to surprise GDP growth in the first quarter, robust exports, vaccine rollouts, and better job numbers. Western powers are slamming Belarus after it diverted a passenger flight to arrest an opposition activist. EU leaders are discussing a unified European response to the incident that has shocked the world. Kim Hyo-sun has more.
EU leaders gathered in Brussels Monday evening to discuss new sanctions on Belarus, among other related responses. The meeting came after Belarus diverted an international passenger flight on Sunday to seize an opposition activist and journalist who was on board, a move which the EU described as a hijacking.
There will be a very strong answer, because it is an outrageous behavior, and Lukashenko and his regime have to understand that this will have severe consequences. So tonight we will discuss options, different options of sanctions. Sanctions against individuals that are involved in this hijacking, but also sanctions against business and economic entities that are financing these regimes. And we are looking into sanctions against the aviation sector in Belarus.
They also called for the immediate release of Roman Protasevich, vowing to pressure Belarus until it respects the freedom of the media, press, and opinion. The 26-year-old was aboard a Ryanair plane, which was flying from Athens to Lithuania, but the pilot was ordered to divert to Minsk, the capital of Belarus, while the plane was in Belarus airspace. Belarus state media says the order was given directly by the country's president. BBC quoted witnesses who described how the activist said he was, quote, super scared, adding he would face the death penalty, as Belarus is the only European country that still executes prisoners. It added that his father is concerned his son may be tortured as well. Against such a backdrop, Belarus has ordered all diplomats at the Latvian embassy to leave the country. The move prompted a tit-for-tat response from Latvia. Latvia's foreign minister is voicing hope that EU leaders will reach a joint response to Belarus actions. Kim Hye-san, Arirang News.
Myanmar's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi has appeared in public for the first time since she was detained during the military coup in February. Her legal team says she had no access to newspapers since then and was only partially aware of what was happening outside. Lee Seung-jae with more.
Myanmar State TV on Monday showed still photos of ousted civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi for the first time since the military coup in February. The images also showed her first in-person court appearance since her arrest. With two police officers standing by her side, she appeared on screen alongside President Win Myint and former Naypyidaw Mayor Myo Aung. The ousted leader had a chance to speak privately to her legal team, who said little is known about her detention.
Firstly, Aung San Suu Kyi said, ask where this place is. And we told her that it is in the Naypyidaw Council compound, but the number of the place we don't know. Then Aung San Suu Kyi said she also didn't know where she was kept.
While she looked in good health during the 30-minute meeting with her legal team, her top lawyer said she had no access to newspapers and was only partially aware of what was happening outside. Her legal team also noted that Aung San Suu Kyi expressed support for the National League for Democracy party, saying it will be there as long as the people are, because the party was founded for the people. Her remarks come as the junta-appointed Union Election Commission called for the NLD party to be abolished, citing alleged voter fraud in last November's election. It has also threatened action against who they call the traitors involved. The ousted leader has been under house arrest since she was taken into custody in the hours following the coup. The new military regime has filed 6 charges against her. Her next hearing is set for June 7th. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
The UN's nuclear watchdog has agreed with Iran to extend its monitoring agreement for another month. It'll allow the IAEA to extend its custody over nuclear sites in Tehran until June 24th. Shortly after the announcement, Iran said it's still enriching uranium at different levels of purity, including 60, 20, and 5%. It added that it currently possesses 2.5 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium. Iran and global powers previously agreed on limiting the purity level to 3.6% under the former 2015 nuclear deal. The parties are set this week to discuss reviving the accord. BTS made history at the Billboard Music Awards over the weekend, taking home all 4 of the awards they were nominated for. The K-pop superstars also performed their new single live on stage for the very first time. The feat also further cements the band's legacy. Our Kim Bo-kyung reports.
BTS have dominated the Top Social Artist Award at the Billboard Music Awards, winning it for 5 years straight. And they've also been named Top Duo and Group in 2019. But this year, they broke through to add 2 more achievements, Top Song Sales Artist and Top Selling Song, showing how their hit single Dynamite has appealed to American listeners.
And now, with these added awards, it really just cements the fact that this is a group that dominates and in all areas. It is really a ubiquitous group. So dominates in social presence, in musicality, and in performance, and now in the numbers and in sales and in people wanting and fans wanting to buy their song.
BTS were the winners of the top social artist category, but the fact that other K-pop stars such as Blackpink and 17 were among the contenders means a lot. Experts say global listeners who have listened to BTS songs are now opening up their eyes to other groups. And K-pop's very own fandom culture is starting to spread overseas.
These governing bodies kind of saw BTS's impact and had a taste of what the music scene was like in the industry, but the diversity in the category now really speaks to how now this industry is opened up and people are now paying attention to other groups.
Previously, songs were all that mattered, but now fans are very used to mobile culture. The impact of fandom is getting stronger with the younger generation's mobile using trend. Fandom is an important factor that offers a foundation for artists to be recognized, and K-pop stars have great fandom culture.
Now that BTS have proved their appeal to US listeners with a solid number of sales, lots of fans are wondering what their next step might be. 김보경, 아리랑 뉴스.
Welcome. It's time for The World Now, bringing you some of the most interesting news from around the globe. I'm Ji-young. The COVID-19 outbreak has taken a toll on the aviation industry, especially as countries closed their borders at the beginning of the pandemic. But now with the worldwide inoculation drive and eased international travel restrictions, the demand for socially distanced modes of transport, like private jets, is surging.
But as and when lockdown started and ended in particular countries, we sort of had large waves of demand. For example, last summer from UK departures and arrivals was actually very busy because the airlines didn't have the routes or the frequencies or capacity at all, but people still needed to and actually wanted to fly.
He added that with some business and essential travel being allowed amid the outbreak, private aviation has steadily been in demand. According to private jet broker Colibri Aircraft, 14 pre-owned private jets were purchased last year, worth about $118 million, which is almost triple the 2019 figure. Also, a private jet company, Wheels Up, saw its revenue jump by 70% in the first quarter on year. The CEO of the company said that their customers are flying longer distances and across all fleet categories. Summer is coming, and that means sweltering heat and lots of sweating, which many can't bear. But medical staff battling the pandemic may get even more exhausted in the summer with protective suits against COVID-19 covering their entire bodies. To prevent this, a 19-year-old engineering student in India has invented cool COVID-19 protective gear. The device offers ventilation inside the suits to keep health staff cool.
What the added benefit is that the humid and hot air, which gets developed inside the PP suit, it gets naturally pushed out from the spaces near the neck, and that leads to the reducing of the misting that happens on the face shield that doctors wear.
His mother, who's a doctor, said the device will help wearers avoid fungal infection due to heat and sweat. The trophy has been revealed for the winner of the new Europa Conference League competition. European soccer's governing body, UEFA, unveiled the glossy silverware, which weighs 11 kilograms and is about 60 centimeters in height and displays 32 curved hexagonal spines. It says each spine represents a team that has qualified for the group stages of the competition. Also, the curves show a soccer ball's swerving trajectory towards a goal. 184 competing teams will fight for a place in the 32 team group stages of the tournament. Some of the teams that have made the qualifying stages include Tottenham Hotspur, AS Roma, and Rennes. The final will be played on May 25th next year in Tirana, Albania. With dainty pink claws and snow-white fur, a wallaby who recently left its mother's pouch explores the outside world. Meet little female Joy Eliza, a rare albino wallaby that was born at a zoo in the city of Kazan in Russia. She's believed to be the first albino wallaby born at the attraction. Zoo officials said she's in good health and enjoying attention from visitors.
Good morning. The month of May is widely considered the best time of the year in Korea, but that's not the case this year. We're seeing more rainy days than bright skies. And today we are having a wet and yellow morning as the showers are mixed with high levels of yellow dust. And the wet weather will continue through the morning. Air quality is pretty bad too, with dust alerts in place, so don't forget a face mask that can block the yellow dust. However, the air quality should improve by the afternoon. So we can expect nicer weather by the afternoon, sunnier skies and better air quality. But temperatures will only get up to 19 degrees Celsius here in the capital. Southern provinces will have warms topping out in the mid-20s. Meanwhile, the west coast will be buffered by strong winds. And it seems like there's another band of rain in the forecast at the end of the week, so please keep an umbrella handy. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
And that will do it for us at this hour on Arirang News. We'll be back at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
조금만 이따 쉬고 해.